And welcome to the Grandfinals of Predator Alliance League. My name is Uomi, and together with me is Hyron and Furzerk. And we are finally looking at the top two teams of Alliance League Summer 2020. And this is looking to be the most massive, most intense best of 5 na papanoorin natin dito sa Predator Alliance League. Let me ask you first, Furzerk. Furzerk, na medyo anong skin yan? Medyo nagkapalit ata kayo ng label ng pangalan, pero Furzerk,
Yeah.
first Zerk na totoo. One of us is an imposter dito. Nag-Among Us talaga tayo. So,
Among Us yung
the
team
real first
simula
Zerk,
pa.
can you please tell me anong pinaka-excited kang matchup? Because ang daming pwedeng panoorin dito eh. Kumbaga, sino yung excited kang panoorin the most? Anong lane?
Lane. Um, I think bot lane kasi number 1 nandun si Crescio, number 2 nandun si Captain Kinzon. So it's gonna be really spicy for bot lane. I wanna see Kinzon pop off. In fact, I would even argue to say he has to pop off because if not, may hirapan yung team niya manalo.
Yeah, I have to say that too. And
Mm-hmm.
in fact,
Yeah.
Kinson just announced, I mean, not for me, for the viewers, it's not for me. Kinson just announced a few minutes ago, if hindi nyo naabutan sa live chat natin, that this is gonna be his last series to play under Valiant Esports Club. So, this is a win it all before he retires kind
Last
of
hurrah.
thing. Yeah, last hurrah nga. And ikaw naman, Hyron, what's the most, what's the lane na pinaka-excited kang panoorin?
When I look at this level of play, like finals for a split, I don't usually look at lane matches themselves, but the relationships between the matchups between the relationships. But so so like mid jungle is a big part for me here. And when it comes to Teletigers, you can't talk about the mid jungle without talking about Crescio, the support as well, since Crescio is one of those supports that really roams around. So I think Valiant Esports either has to match that or take advantage of that bot lane na naiiwan lagi sa Tenebria. And with Crescio roaming around, that would be their chance to get Kinzon fed. No? So I think that dynamic is what's really going to determine how well this best of 5 is going to go for either HAU or Teletigers.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have shown great skill throughout the group stages. We've seen Parzival. Arguably ito like if Teletigers didn't exist, I would say that Parzival could easily be like one of the best
MVP.
players, MVP caliber to. Talagang you could really see in his play style that he's meant to carry games. Like he's in that roster because he practically is the best mid laner in the entirety of Holy
Alliance.
Angel University.
Wow. Yeah.
And for Alliance League, sobrang daming
Very
magagaling na
strong.
mid laner.
Oh.
I mean, from LG as well. Let's not forget, even if LG didn't pass through, I think, pass through group stages, they had Yubel. Yubel, one of the best mid laners as well. Ang daming magagaling dito sa Alliance League. But we are down finally to the last 10 to 12 people. Two teams nga, as you said, Hyron. But, man, looking at HAU, who's the player to watch out for, Hyron?
I think for HAU, yeah, I mean, of course, it's there's an argument for Kinzon, but I think Parzival has shown to be a player to watch talaga in HAU. Like, if you look at performance of HAU from group stage to playoffs, then you see that Parzival has become such a huge factor. Looking at yung stats niya kanina, damage percentage 34%. That is huge, especially coming into this final. So I think while Kinzon definitely deserves of course, a lot of attention since he has a lot of experience from being a pro as well. He's a veteran. I think Parzival, is the shining star for this one.
Oh yeah. And for Sir, nasabi ni Iron dito na Kinzon had, let's say, a lot of experience, which is true. I've been there to see it. I've probably played with him before pa, back when I was still at least competitive as a player. Now I'm just stuck in Diamond. But first, like, ikaw, you're still in Challenger, you're pretty close to your old form. For some reason, retired ka na, pero magaling ka pa rin. What's your secret and anong masasabi mo tungkol kay Kinzon now that he's close to retiring as well?
Kinzon, well, honestly, I've never really had a close relationship with him player to player during, back in our day, Uomi. Pero I guess I think it's good to just keep your options open kasi you never know. From collegiate player, from pro player, you can transition into other things. No, there's not just being a player naman in esports. Pwede maging coach, pwede mag-transition into shoutcasting, even
Mhm.
prod. So there's a lot of things there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As for yung secret ko, well, binubuhat lang ako ni Yobel.
Oh. Okay.
Half
Everybody
joking.
pretend like hindi natin narinig yun. But
Half
man,
joking.
we talked about how a lot. Let's go towards the Teletigers now. The Teletigers right now, let's talk about Dane a little bit. Dane in the
Yes.
top lane right now is someone who actually already won a championship in another esport covered by Alliance League, I know by Esports Acad Arena as well. So underneath this top lane, beast of a top laner for Teletigers is already a Mobile Legends Championship as well under the same league.
Yeah.
But
Mr.
now though,
Worldwide.
Mr. Mr. Worldwide or
Okay.
ano pa bang pwede nating gamitin pang pag-describe mga the duality of
Yeah.
man.
Is it what you call like a
Duality of
a
man.
renaissance man?
A
Yeah,
renaissance man.
someone who's adept at many
Contemporary
different
man.
things at once. Yeah.
Well, man,
Uh, yeah, we've been seeing
Esports.
Dane a lot, and his performance across the board has been pretty commendable.
yeah, I have to agree. And speaking of Dane, though, for a short while during the starting stages of Predator Alliance League, backtrack tayo. Michael was actually playing top lane, and Relevance is one of the rookies of Teletigers. Was playing the jungle role. So let's go towards the stats of Michael if that's available as well. He
Yeah,
quickly transitioned back though to jungle, considering tinan mo yung mga most played niya. Now it's Evelyn and Graves.
hmm
So, man, Michael, really also a very flexible player. But kayo ba, ano ba naaalala nyo kay Michael so far?
mm. You go first, Frizik.
Okay, so si Michael, not just sa collegiate Predator Alliance League, but also with my experience in the ladder. Magaling talaga siya sa jungler, undeniable, indisputable yun. Pero I remember specifically nung ine-explore niya pa yung jungle Wukong, nung
Mm.
nag-rework pa lang yung Wukong. And he played that really well. I think Michael plays carry junglers really well. It's just that his teammates also play carries eh. So, kumbaga, hindi siya umaangat, hindi na bibigyan ng spotlight, but at the same time, I can't say na he's such a really good player himself.
I see, I
Mm.
see. But man, being surrounded by all these star players, considering that even if you like take out one member of the Tigers right now and put them in another team, it would feel like they're really a star player. I mean, remove Michael,
Yeah.
put him in a bottom seed team, he would definitely shine better or have the spotlight more on him. But looking at everything that we said about how and about Teletigers this time, the question remains though. Let's put a little bit of predictions in our table. I mean, this is
Hmm.
gonna sound or maybe baka may mga magalit na viewers, but let's back it up with facts, back it up with logic, and most of all, of course, defend our answer. So for Zerk, in this best of 5 series, sino sa tingin mo? Pwede pa magbago to for viewing pleasure as well. For everyone watching, pwede pa to magbago depende kung anong game 1. But after game 1, let's lock in our predictions na. Your pre-series prediction for Zerk. What's your pre-series prediction?
Pre-series, I'm going with a solid 3-0 for UST. Although I think that HAU has what it takes to be champions, UST has much more of what it takes. I mean, based on facts, based on stats, based on experience, lalo na, I think that UST is just much more well equipped as a team and as individuals to take home the crown.
See,
hmm
about you, Hiron.
Yeah, I have to agree. I hate to give Parzival and Kinzon like the 0-3 prediction here, but I do think that Teletigers uh, throughout the group stage and throughout the playoffs has just shown themselves to not only be taking everything in stride, they have so much room to experiment, the to yeah, they have a lot of room to experiment, even though like in these crucial games, and they still won most of those, which I think is a testament to how good they are as a team. And looking at the stats, uh, just from how balanced their stats look against each other, it really does tell the story of a well balanced, well balanced, well distributed skill level team such as Teletigers compared to like to how stats, which are really favored towards Kinzon and Parzival.
I mean, very carry-centric yung gameplay ng HAU. But for my predictions, excuse me for that. For me, I don't want to give the 3-0 as well because looking gusto ko let's say 3-1. It's safe to say. Pwede pa naman natin baguhin after game 1. I'd say 3-1 for now because I feel like how really prepared for this one. I mean, it's not every day that you will face a giant like Teletigers in the finals, and of course you would want to slay that giant, take down Goliath, and I feel like HAU could pull off one win against Teletigers just because Teletigers isn't expecting HAU to be that good. And if ever they don't adjust or respect HAU's skill level, then maybe HAU could win this championship, win it all. But so far, I'd still gonna put it 3-1 because based on facts alone, as we placed the criteria earlier, based on facts alone, Teletigers won more championships, had more experience not just locally but internationally as well, because let's take note, the only person here who does not have the experience in another country or winning championships in general is Tenebria. But for the rest of the people in Teletigers right now, all of them had experience not only in Korea but China as well, which are actually big. But let's see if anong mangyayari sa game 1 because so far HAU in their match against UPD, let's remember that real quick. Man, actually wait, wag muna natin pag-usapan yan. Let's talk about player performance first. Meron tayong MVP for the league right now. Let's cast our votes first. First, Zerk, para sa'yo, sino yung deserving for MVP natin?
Well, in my head, at first, I was torn between si Parzival and si Crescio. But, I mean, looking at the facts, the numbers, I have to give it to Crescio because numbers don't lie.
I mean, numbers don't lie. But Hyron, how about you? Do you think that in the contention of MVP, kanino mo ibibigay yung MVP na yun?
Yeah, when we were discussing this, I really did cast my vote for Crescio. But numbers don't lie. All the stats are in Crescio's favor. But if you look at, like you know how an increase from 100 to 120 is smaller than an increase from 50 to 70. Do you get that?
Wait, that's the same as 20, Hyron!
But percentage-wise, the value is more.
Yung ratio, kumbaga.
The ratio of growth is a lot more. I guess I wouldn't use those exact numbers when describing Crescio and Parzival, but the principle is there. The growth from Parzival, how much he's given, how a great run from group stage to playoffs and leading them here to the finals. I think that has a lot of value. But in the end, I'm gonna say Crescio.
Yeah, and not only, eto rin before we reveal kung sino ba talaga yung MVP ng Predator Alliance League 2020 Summer, let's look at what the prizes are muna, kung may mapakita ba tayo. But if wala, let's just say it as well. You're gonna get not only a keyboard from Predator, but also a mouse as well. So, complete set na yun ng peripherals for the MVP. And kung sino din yung mananalo sa finals, makakakuha ng each ng keyboard and the mouse as well. So, that's a lot of prizes. If mag-MVP ka na nga, mag-champion ka pa. But before we reveal the MVP, I'll cast my vote as well. I'm gonna give it to Crescio. As Ferzerk said, it's simple as that. I mean, numbers don't lie. That kill participation and other stuff as well, very, let's say, top 1 in throughout the league. So, Prod, let's do it. Let's reveal the MVP for Predator Alliance League 2020 Summer.
Crescio,
wow.
Summer MVP. And look at those champions that he's picked up. Set, Lux, and Leona. Definitely unorthodox, but he makes it work so well with the Teletigers play style.
Yeah, and man, looking at the Summer MVP right now, I mean, Crescio already receiving that mouse plus keyboard combo from Predator means he also has a chance to score another set if they win the finals over here. But let's make it clear for our viewers, hindi namin pinili lang yung MVP now.
Like
This
now,
had
yeah.
a long discussion before we
Very long.
ultimately
It's-
decided with Crescio, man. Sobrang haba niyan. Medyo nagkakainitan pa nga tayo dun sa GC natin. Diba? Bakit ganito? Bakit ganyan? But ultimately, we ended up with the decision. It's gonna be Crescio for MVP. So congratulations to Crescio and Teletigers Esports Club for winning the MVP of the league. Tingnan natin kung mabuhat ba ng MVP ang team to the finals as well. Because how, now that they didn't get the MVP, maybe, mas nag-init yung dugo nila for the
Oo.
championship instead.
It's gonna be really exciting to see how all of this plays out because, man, I'm super excited for how this Predator Alliance League 2020 summer like ends because it's been such a long journey from group, all the players, all the viewers out there who have been following the league for the entire split. I'm pretty sure that they want to see how this all ends, how the final arc for summer this split
Oh
is gonna go.
man, ready ka na ba sa mga Kuroko no basketball?
when Hiron was saying arc, my mind was like, oh no,
Oh no,
the
here comes
references are coming.
Here comes the anime references. For our viewers over here, make sure to share the stream, cheer for your team, tawagin nyo na sa mga Discord servers nyo, lahat ng mga nanonood. Have a watch party, chill with us here because man, this is gonna be the finale of HAU versus UST. It's gonna be another postseason after this one. But man, you gotta watch this with your friends. Invite your schoolmates as well. Because this does not only apply for esports. Imagine mo pag na-publish ng school nyo na, uy, nag-champion kami dito. That's like bragging rights for your whole campus.
Yeah. And of course, not only do you get to witness this grand best of 5 between two great collegiate teams, if you cheer for your favorite team, share the stream, make some noise in the chat, you'll get a chance to win some exclusive League of Legends skins courtesy of Karina. Think we'll have 2 winners after every game of this best of 5, and the possible skins you can get are Odyssey Jinx, Program Nami, Pajama Guardian Ezreal, and Elderwood LeBlanc. So, I hope you guys watch, but
Wait lang ah. May nakalimutan tayong banggitin for MVP. Let's go back a little bit sa MVP conversation.
So,
Nabanggit natin several times si Parzival. So let's just put it out there. Parzival was a close second in getting that MVP. So for how fans over here, huwag kayong mag-worry. Actually, this is the conversation that we had before. Hindi lang kami. That's a lot of people talking about who the MVP should be. And Parzival was always that one guy just at the tail end of Crescio. I think for Zerk, you have better grasp on what makes Parzival a great player. Can you talk about that more?
Okay, so I think what captures his performance the most is the phrase, he rose to the occasion. So during group stages and everything before that, we didn't really notice Parzival. He didn't really stand out in his team. In fact, it was more of si Kinzon talaga. But when it came to the playoffs time, grabe, like it was just so surprising how he suddenly transformed, elevated his gameplay into a top caliber mid laner for collegiate. And that's something I put premium on personally because esports, hindi lang naman siya about winning, it's about growth as well.
Yeah.
And kitang-kita yung growth niya as a player.
Hindi ko kayo mahawakan. Pero yun na nga, pasok tayo sa pick and ban phase of the first game of this best of 5 series between Teletigers and Valiant Esports. This is gonna be the last best of 5 na papanoorin natin for Predator Alliance League Summer 2020. So for bans, a lot of AD carry bans for the start of this pick and ban phase.
Yeah, but it's also worth noting that this isn't just AD carry bans, and this Lucian ban has been played in other lanes as well. Dane plays it as Dane is definitely playing that. The Saya locked away from Kinzon definitely, but so far it seems like there's a lot of respect placed in these bans.
Oh wow. Further, we're looking at a potential power pick on this Hecarim. Can you give us more insight about this Hecarim pick?
Hecarim is in a really good place in the meta right now because of how well he can bypass the front line and just access that backline strength of whatever comp that the opponent has, no. Yung farming niya, yung early game niya rin, it's very stable and it's basically hard to shut down Hecarim just because of his movement speed too. It was buffed not too long ago, which adds to his damage, but I would say it's a good first pick lock in because it doesn't really reveal much for the Teletigers comp right now.
Yeah, but in fact, looking at the chart right now, I don't
Ooh,
think Michael
yeesh.
played a lot of Hecarim games yet, but man, Crocodile on the top lane,
Crocodile.
Renekton against potentially a Mordekaiser. Red Blank
Yeah,
did play
Red Blank.
Mordekaiser already. Hyron, you've seen Red Blank on this Mordekaiser quite a few times. Looking at the matchup right now, Renekton versus Mordekaiser, what are small interactions that you're excited to see?
I'm I'm really just excited to see the timing on those shields on that Mordekaiser as well. And because if you blink and miss when the Renekton comes in with Slice and Dice, calls the make, who does the whole combo, it's really easy to not be able to trade back. And without that, if Red Plank isn't able to time his E well, then that's just an easy uncontested trade, not even a trade, uncontested damage there coming in from Din. So I think that's really, really contentious in the top side.
Yeah, let's enter the second banning phase of this first game already. But looking at the picks before this the banning phase, the second banning phase rather, we are looking at a Trundle and a Sylas for the side of Valiant Esports. This Sylas has been in the hands of Parzival for several times already, and he had shown great potential in this champion. But Ezreal, let's talk about Ezreal a little bit. Ezreal, one of the best late game AD carries, and why though? Why, Furzer?
He's just so flexible. He's a pick that can be mixed in with whatever comp you need to peel back, you need to move forward as a team. Just plug in that Ezreal and he can do that job really well. So sobrang versatile niya as a champion. But I'd like to take a moment to talk more about this Sylas.
Go for
I
it.
personally am not much of a fan of a blind pick Sylas because we saw what happened to UPD Soles before. When they were against HAU, he just got counterpicked by a Cassiopeia and they didn't opt to ban Cass as we see in the second ban phase. So I want to see somewhat of a mid lane counter from UST PAU here.
Yeah, let's see if Pau is able to pick up a counter against this Sylas. And looking at their composition, I'd say that getting someone who has innate anti-healing or someone who could buy anti-healing without suffering tax would be good.
Ooh.
But looks like he will be opting for the LeBlanc instead. Hyron,
Interesting.
LeBlanc, one of the more aggressive mid laners
Yeah.
against the Sylas. Do you think it'll work?
I think it definitely has a lot of potential. The reason why Sylas can be so scary is that the ultimates to get stolen. LeBlanc doesn't really have a super high impact ultimate that you can hijack using Sylas, and just in lane, he has a lot more freedom to roam around and affect all around the map, which is what Teletigers really plays around with Cresho, Michael, and Pau. And I think it's a good pickup just to not exactly face off against the Sylas, but to just bypass it by influencing other lanes.
But man, looking at the AD carry of HAU, talagang grabe to si Kinzon. Hanggang sa Champion Select, invisible ang kanyang champion. But
Baka
man,
Twitch.
let's play the guessing game. Lucian is down, Caitlyn is down as well with the Saya, Kaisa, and Tristana. There are limited options. Do you think it's the Twitch? Do you guys
it's
think
If it's the
invisible.
Twitch, maybe it is the Twitch, but I think if it's the Twitch, it's gonna get screwed so hard by LeBlanc, Hecarim, and Renekton. So I don't think Kinzon would bring it out here game one in this best of 5.
Okay,
Is
so
Tamira even enabled?
Ogmo?
no, wait.
No.
So ano pa ba yung isa pang hero
Oh,
or
it's
champion?
Varus. It's Varus.
It's Varus.
He hasn't
Okay.
played. I don't think he's played it in playoffs. I don't not even in groups, but
Oh yeah, I don't think
do
he's
see-
played it as well
Yeah.
in competitive first, but I think there's a problem with your mic as well, Iron. Gotta fix that
hold
before
on.
we enter the rift. But man, that Varus against Morgana and Ezreal higher Frizzerk, I feel like it's really hard to stay alive if you get if you get snared by the Morgana.
Yeah, definitely, because there's so much follow-up too, not just in lane. When it comes to skirmishes, there's that LeBlanc, such a beast early mid-game, Hecarim,
Yeah.
and that TP flank from Renekton, which they have to take care of. We do know that UST is a team of that caliber of a team that can pull off that TP flank in the bot lane very comfortably. So lots to look out for the bot lane of HAU here.
Okay.
But like scaling the game into the later stages to, we know that Varus Lulu is very scary, especially yung
Mhm.
attack speed version, yung DPS version ni Varus. So that's something that Teletigers has to prevent from happening. They have to push their lead, in my opinion, sa early mid game. They have LeBlanc, they have Renekton, they have the tools.
Yeah.
So that's something very reasonable, I think, because it's UST. So I'm really excited to see what sort of early game plans they have.
Yeah, pero excited din ako makita kung ano nga ba ang hula ng ating Lord and Savior Shamey. This is the final time na makita natin ang prediction ng one oracle natin, the Hedgehog Oracle Shamey. Let's cue in Shamey. Let's see if sino mabibigyan ng Shamey buffs. Oh, it's cinematic this time!
Let's effing go!
Oh, man.
She awakens.
She awakens from her slumber.
She demands a sacrifice.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh, highlights.
Oh wait, I think this is the montage
Yeah.
of all the times that she's been help from our admin over here. Maybe
Shamey,
I think he
calm
will
down.
be getting out
Oh.
himself. That's what
my
you want.
lord.
Oh, this is the time where she
Independent,
just went for it.
cute
Yeah.
Animal.
Like, go
I have 6
beast
minutes.
Oh wait,
Oh
wait a
my
minute.
God,
This
Shamey.
is it. Oh,
Shamey, please. Please, Shamey, please.
This was when Shamey still had a 100%
Meron yan.
prediction.
Nagdadasal ako kay Shamey.
I forgot which team broke
Tuwing gabi.
Shamey's
God,
prediction
Shamey.
rate, but
Sinasamba.
Shamey so far, it's
Shamey
still a
lang malakas.
positive prediction rate, so
Magtatampo
it
ako kay
still
Shamey
has
pag
that
iba yung
buff.
pinipilig yun.
Not even the
Tinraider ako dito.
not even the divination of the gods can stand against the entropy of a competitive league such as Alliance League. And Shamey, Shamey fan art.
Oh my god. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
the
the
buffs.
Shamey, wait, why does it say September?
Wait,
Wait,
is this a...
Shamey
sorry.
God.
Is Shamey
Is this-
God?
is this a-
Oh my god.
Shamey gone. Wait, can we confirm?
Is Shamey still
That
alive?
made me sad. That made me sad for real.
Why does it imply that Shamey's
Yo,
dead?
wait.
Yo, is Shamey
Is this
dead? Shamey died yesterday. I didn't know. Oh my god,
Wait,
that's so sad.
Wait.
Wait,
wait lang, naiiyak ako.
wait.
Yeah, same,
Wait, what?
man. Oh my god, wait.
Seryoso ba to?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is new. This is new even to Prod apparently. Even Prod doesn't know
I am
that Shamey
clueless.
died yesterday. That's sad.
Oh man.
But also, I don't wanna use Shamey's death as a jumping off point for the narrative. But at this point,
Oh my
the
god.
fate of Teletigers and Valiant Esports is no longer in the hands of gods. There is only humans deciding their own fate here. Teletigers UST versus Valiant Esports from Holy Angel University. Their fate is in their own hands now.
Yeah. But man, F in the chat,
man.
boys. Time
F
to
in the
pay
chat,
respect.
Shamey.
Time to pay respect for Shamey. Been a
You will
very
be
memorable
remembered.
run. Memorable run. So I think there's no prediction.
Yeah,
No
no
prediction.
prediction.
Our finals.
That's pretty dramatic. No prediction for
Yeah.
the finals. And we're gonna have to see as we're gonna load onto the rift very very soon here, as we take like 1 second of silence for Shamey. But going back to Teletigers versus Valiant Esports, this game one is going to set the stage here. As you said, it could, if Teletigers gets this first win, it can set up for momentum towards the 3-0 that Berserk and I predicted. But if Valiant Esports can catch the Teletigers off guard here with their preparation, with the cheese that their bot lane is known for, or whatever other strats that they have in store, then they can pivot that into their own momentum as well. If we load onto the rift here for University of Santo Tomas Teletigers on the blue side versus Holy Angel University Valiant Esports on the red side. Tigers, the Tigers, they're packing up here top side. What are they
And the
planning?
Morgana invade is one of the scariest thing in this game right now, but looks like they will be on opposite sides. Okay, you know what? Opposite invades, both 5-man. I'm calling this as an unofficial Shamey tribute. You know what?
Shamey
I don't know,
tribute.
man. Kind of think that Shamey deserves something more from us. Like, I hope this
Yeah.
series is something great. Something
Yeah,
to watch for Shamey. Streaming Akad Arena in Hedgehog Heaven. What a god.
Mm-hmm. Seems like
I'm-
UST, they didn't find anyone.
Yeah, personally, I'm gonna be dedicating my time here today for Shady the Hedgehog. Grabe talaga yung contributions niya for the past games for Alliance League. So let's just give it our all for Shamey the Hedgehog, and not just for Shamey the Hedgehog, for these two finalist teams right now, as we see both junglers starting on the opposite ends of the map. Leashless si Hecarim, however.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Leashless Hecarim, one of the more powerful tools that he has, especially starting in that rates. I mean, that Hunter's Talisman plus the AoE damage just
Yeah,
is
just the rampage
more than
and
enough.
Spirit of Dread. Yeah. And this does deny us, if UST read that HAU did not go for any deep vision, then this would be information that UST is hiding from Holy Angel University, which should put Red Flank and Parzival on edge for the first few minutes.
Man.
Yeah,
I mean,
and-
in this bottom lane though, still no big lead so far. Very early pa naman sa game, and the aggression is coming in. A Red Plank suffering a little bit of aggression or against this Renekton. I mean, alam naman natin yan, Renekton, one of the better lane bullies in that top lane.
And go
And
on.
looking at the Corgi's path right now, mukhang really gang to for bot lane.
Oh, okay, Tenebria, but looks like Crescio will be forced to
Ooh.
flash out with that pillar. Great. I think that was a great pillar. Talagang alam nila na
Yeah.
si Crescio dapat.
Pillar to Flash. Pillar for Flash, definitely a worth trade there for HAU. And if they can get a repeat gank in the next 5 minutes, then there's going to be pivotal in Kinzon getting the lead here, which we did peg Kinzon as the one of the star players here for HAU that they need to get ahead. But Tenebria taking a lot of damage in these trades. That's the power here of this Varus. Even if they are eventually going for that like DPS attack speed build early on, it's still gonna hurt a lot from those folks.
Pretty surprised actually that the bot lane of UST had to burn a flash there. They knew that Corgi started topside, so a bot gank early wasn't really too much to expect. So good play by Corgi, but I feel like the bot lane too of HAU is doing a good job in terms of trading. Ezreal right now is half health as Dane gets pulled into tower.
Oh man, that's a big chunk
Uh-oh.
of health. But Crescio, he won't be in trouble over there as the turret will provide a little bit of safety. A lot of poke though landing on Kinzon. Great gank coming in from Corgi, but still no first blood.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
seems like
think
both of
that-
you just looking for an opening here. But yeah, Berserk.
I think the problem here though is, I mean not a problem, but the difficulty in ganking bot lane is there's really not much setup for this Trundle. Hindi pa level 6 yung Varus, so wala pang Chains of Corruption. But I mean, pressure is pressure. We do see Michael was able to counter invade the Raptors of Corgi on the top side of the map. He's actually 11 CS up right now.
And that's really what you want to see in a hacker M. Get to level 6 as fast as possible, get those levels, be able to get the... Oh, it's going to be... Okay, it's just going to be just normal trading at the top side. But yeah, you want this hacker M to get ahead as soon as possible to get to that level 6 power spike on those ganks.
And looking at the Hecarim, he is already hovering towards that top side, but I don't think that Dane has the HP to pull off an aggressive move just now. And the snare lands in the bottom lane, which means Kaidan will have a little bit of damage put up on it. The shield is there, the heal coming in from the slicing guys, plus the call. That's the first blood for the Hecarim in the top side as the Teletigers secure 1 kill.
Drive-by by Michael gives him a kill. And that is perfect baiting coming in from Dane. Just edging that HP with his rage, though 4 called the Meek for a huge heal. That was... Red Flank should have expected that.
Yeah, but wait,
I think-
wait lang for sir. Let's look at
Yeah.
what's happening here in the bottom lane. That's Corgi with a great pillar once again, but looks like Crescio will be forced to the kill on the Kainan, and that's a 1-for-1 for now. The flash is burned for Tenebria as the teleports go down. This is gonna be a 3v4. No, make that a 2v4 as one of the players from Teletigers is still far away. HAU still in that tri-bush. That's 4 people coming in from HAU, dealing a lot of damage on the AD carry, but no kills. That's just a lot of teleports burned.
Oh yeah, definitely. But this could pivot HAU to get this first Drake of the game, though. UST has to lick their wounds right now, regroup, and this is a mounted Drake. It is going to take a longer while than if it was Infernal, but if UST can use the tankiness of this Drake to their advantage, they could potentially get some disruption, but it doesn't seem like they'll pull the trigger on it.
This looks to be
This-
uncontested.
Yeah, uncontested indeed, OV, and this is really great for HAU. But more than that, seems like they're very much into getting their bot lane ahead, and I think it's smart. But wait a
Pressure.
second here.
Cresho looks to be bitten down by the Trundle, but the slows won't be enough to save, actually to kill him over there. That's gonna be Cresho just simply walking away, but the stun, that's the ulti stolen from the Silas, but the snare denies him of it. The shield's coming in from Lulu will mitigate a little bit of damage. It's HAU trying to get more out of this trade-off. That's the Kingslayer not actually landing on HAU instead. Quite the bad trade for Silas over there.
And he is going to concede big, especially if he gets poked out like that by Cresho. That's going to concede a lot of waves, which is exactly how UST's built up a 2k goal lead at 7 minutes with a 2-1 kill score. Is just this looking at the CS, Dane, 22 above, and like you said, Michael has just been clearing and invading against Corgi here. And of course, I think you across the board, except for Tenebria, they're just straight up ahead in terms of CS.
Yeah, but in the mid lane though, Ignite plus the shield from the Lulu will deny HAU of that kill. But now the pressure is on for Parzival. Out of nowhere! Actually, out from the bottom lane, downtown. A kill goes to Tenebria. Man, what a true shot barrage.
True shot indeed, and that is gonna put Parzival very, very behind at this point. He's already almost at like 66% of the CS that HAU has right now.
Oh, wait a minute. It's still not over in the bottom lane. Varus is in trouble. No flash, no heal. If the snare lands, it's donezo. It's gonna be a kill for another... Actually, that's gonna be another kill for Tenebria as he goes 2-0-1.
Yeah, Cresho right there, the patience, even emoting before the Dark Binding. And Kinzon, of course, without a flash. Varus has no way of dodging that, and that's easy kill there for Tenebria.
This is such a really good display of high-level collegiate play, in my opinion, because the Rift Herald has yet to be taken down, and the supports have been all over the place. We don't typically see this in regular collegiate games, but this is the finals, and both supports are really trying to match each other's pressure across the map right now.
Yeah, but it's clear which one is pulling the pressure. Cresho is the one that's then Kaidan is the one being pressured to go mid lane because he has to cover for Parzival being harassed by Cresho and HAU there.
Yeah, and looking at the top lane, still a big CS lead for Dane. Given that he
Really
is going on this Renekton pick, it's really one of those lane dominant picks out there in the top lane. Talagang mahihirapan dito yung Mordekaiser.
It's really, really tough there. Especially with a Vamp Scepter built up. That's just more lifesteal onto Dane. Doesn't have to rely entirely on the Call the Meek. And with Red Flank falling behind, it's gonna be real tough here for HAU.
Well, that hurts a lot, but that's gonna be a 2v1 in the mid lane. Pero balik tayo ng top lane, hindi pala natuloy yung laban doon. But I love how Parzival is always waiting for the distortion to go Kingslayer on LeBlanc. Minsan nagmi-miss, but that's the proper way to respond to that burst coming in from the distortion. And this is the power of Ezreal as well. Naiiwan siya sa lane. That's gonna be the onslaught of shadows, fearing out the Trundle. Subjugate is there, and he steals a lot of stats coming in from Michael. Available din ang Death Realm dito. This might be bad for the Hecarim over here. He gets called in the Death Realm instead. They're waiting for it. Oh, the damage coming in from the Hecarim will shut down that Mordekaiser instead. Pero 2-for-1 dito sa top lane as a double kill goes for the Trundle.
Yeah, bot lane though, that's gonna be a kill onto Kaidan. Coming from Tenebria and Cresho, taking advantage of no chance of having a jungler intervene. with them clearly being the aggressive lead 2-0-2. That was clean coming in from UST, but yeah, kind of a greedy dive there top side for the Teletigers.
Yeah, and looking at this bottom lane first, like, I don't think that Ginzon is safer nang mag-isa lang dito. I feel like mas less yung room ni Kaidan to roam, but what are your thoughts about it?
Well, I mean, it's I think UST is really doing they're playing their advantages in this game of chess. Like Morgana is roaming and Kinzon is the win condition of HAU. So from Kaidan's perspective, he really has to weigh it. I think that roaming as a support, personally, it's all a matter of timing. There can be a black or white in it, but he really has to pick his battles. But more than that, he can't afford the bot lane of HAU can't afford to take disadvantageous fights because like what we just seen, dun sila natalo, dun namatay si Kaidan, and that's not what they want right now.
But in the mid lane, a little bit of trade coming in from Pao. That's 2 chains landing, but no plates so far. Corgi, though, that's forces out the distortion and the emote out of Pao over there. And the teleport is coming in. That's 4 people in the mid lane suddenly for UST. Dane just taking it out near the turret, but they don't get more than 1 plate though, so this is weird. I feel like they're setting up for the dragon instead.
Yeah, just the Drake here is the objective, but they are trying to make sure that HAU, if they make a move, they get heavily punished for it. Teleport coming in from the top side though.
Oh, Silas stealing away that Ocean Drake as the fight continues. That's Kinzon picking up the kill on Michael instead, but in the backside, the Mordekaiser kills the Renekton, and this is looking bad for the Teletigers as a turnaround from HAU is more than enough to secure kills and the objective as well.
2 Drakes for HAU, and those kills means that they can catch up quite well. They can even pivot onto this Rift Herald.
Yeah,
that was a really good fight by HAU. Definitely, they got 2 kills secured, I think, or 1 or 2 secured onto the UST. But what matters is it's translating into this Rift Herald too. So not only do they take this second Drake, they also get the proactive tool that they need to take down the first tower of the game.
And for Pao over here, can't really trade with the Silas just yet, but he goes back. That's not gonna be the Whiplash, or the Chain Lash rather, landing on Pao, but this is a very slippery champion with the LeBlanc.
Quite hard to trade off with, and right now Pao, I think, is just comfortable clearing this mid lane, making sure that Dane and Tenebria can increase their leads across, and once he's able to push in with Crescio and Michael, might be able to get a roam here, because right now it's kind of hard to face off against Parzival. But right now,
the drive by Michael with the damage. No Onslaught of Shadows will be used as it secures the kill underneath the turret. That's gonna be a free solo kill in the mid lane by Michael, and sadly they can't translate that into a big objective just yet.
But as long as Michael keeps getting these kills, Hecarim, yeah, very good spot in the meta right now, but also very gold hungry. A Hecarim without items does not have damage to heal himself with Spirit of Dread, does not have, well, the damage to be a threat in the AoE front lines. So right now, Michael getting these kills is setting UST up, even if they don't convert it into a big objective. It's setting them up for a very solid mid game, especially if Pao is picking up these assists in the meantime.
That's true, and I feel that Trinity Force already online for Hecarim right now. This means that he can basically do whatever he wants across the map. I think he has lots of targets to choose from right now. Nobody in particular is tanking.
Dane 1v1, Dominus is called inside the Death Realm. He dodges that claw, but not the mace. It's looking bad for the Renekton for now, but the Death Realm is over. The stats are back, and looks like Red Plank will be walking away instead.
Called the Meek usage, the rage management in these 1v1s is really important for this Renekton. Just have to generate as much rage as you can and wait for the Call the Meek to get the most healing out of it. I think,
wait a minute. Ice Pillar is used, traps the Nebria, forces out the Essence Shift. No kill in the bottom lane so far, but that was another pressuring gank coming in from Corgi.
It's really tough to gank Ezreal as this Trundle, and even Crescio is playing it quite safe here, but they can't pull the trigger on this Rift Herald. No more platings, but if they can translate this into first turret of the game, it's a huge gold boost to close the 4K gap. But UST,
Oh no,
is
he
here pulling the
flashes
trigger.
in for the snare. This is looking to be bad for HAU as it's already a killing spree for Corgi. Wait, the turnaround is there. The Silas is incoming. It looks like the stun won't land, but still Crush is going down as the shutdown goes to the Silas. And HAU with a good response in the bottom lane.
2 for 1, but they are going straight into the mid lane turret. Let's take a look at what's happening there. HAU looking to try and respond to that, but first turret still goes to UST, opening up mid lane for their own plays.
Man,
And that's really important for UST because Pao is on this LeBlanc and he really wants to have. Oh, wait a minute.
okay,
Okay,
that
so-
was just an easy out, but yeah, Berserk.
Easy out. Yeah, so Pao would really want as this LeBlanc to have a lot of space to make use of, so he can set up those chains of corruptions, the burst coming in from that champion. So taking down this mid lane tower is really good for UST.
And like I said, it works so well with how UST plays, right? They open up the mid lane. That gives POW so much freedom to move around. If they can take down one side lane turret, then that's going to give UST more leeway to start choking out HAU from their resources and start diving them deep with his comp.
Yeah, and looking at resources though, that's already a 5k lead, but the kill score is still very close. And objective-wise, HAU's been winning the battle. They have gotten the last 2 Drakes, and if they get this 3rd Drake, that's gonna be soul pressure. So for UST, they need to make sure that they get this Drake.
It's gonna be
And I
very, very
think
tough.
I do think that Pao right here, just going in for some quick
In
damage
and out
right there.
trades. Yeah.
Yeah, in and out trades, but more than that, item wise, I think UST dot. I think they can contest this trick for sure. They have a 4K 5K gold lead in their
Teleports up
pockets.
as well.
Pao's in position too over the
Teleport
cliff.
coming in.
Wow, looking for a
Distortion.
2-man, no, a 3-man distortion plus the ultimate coming in from Hecarim hits 5. This is looking to be bad for HAU as that's Dane picking up Kaidan. The dragon will not be even touched as the fight continues. Dane still low in HP. Cove the Meek not yet available. He's running away. That's Michael picking up Parzival as Red Plank is to the backside, trying to get Tenebria, but Tenebria is kiting it out. This looking to be the Drake for UST as they take down 3 from HAU, but looks like it isn't over yet. Michael trying to find Red Plank. That's the smite going down for the Mordekaiser. They're looking for the AD carry instead. That's Kinzon down, but the jungler for UST is down as well. But Red Plank, he won't survive as Bao gets the kill. This is looking to be UST's game in the mid game to take for now.
8k gold lead from that. Possibly the turret. No, it's just gonna take it down to half HP, but this is for sure a Cloud Drake in the hands of UST, and denying that from HAU is gonna be super important. That's less growth gear coming in from Kaidan. That's just less death realms coming from Red Plank, and right now UST looking in a very solid position.
Oh,
This is a skill that UST has that I feel like no other collegiate team has for themselves.
Oh, wait.
And that's-
Nanakaw
what?
niya yung... Okay, sige, continue.
Nanakaw niya?
Nanakaw niya yung Raptor using True Shot Barrage by accident, man. By accident. Okay, you were
going
saying.
back, yeah.
Going back, any other team would have just went back to take the Drake. But I feel that because of the experience of the players of UST, they knew they could play on the cooldowns and just get more kills and then take the Drake. And that's just something I have to point out because like it just pushes their lead even more.
Oh man, the cursed item in the hands of Pao. That's gonna be the Medjai Soul Stealer for the side of the LeBlanc. This is very double-edged. If you don't get enough stats from that item, might as well sell it, right?
But it looks like UST has the confidence to actually go for that Medjais here. And as long as Pao plays it safe, doesn't die, lets Dane and Michael be the ones to soften up targets for him and Tenebria, then this Medjais is going to get stacked really quickly. And look at this. They're converging on different sides of the map here. Top lane being pressured. HAU needs to respond. Rift Herald has been called upon. This top lane.
1v1 though in this bottom lane. That's a Death Realm called. Will Dane survive the Death Realm? Or will he go out to win the trade? That's gonna be a kill on red flank. Make that the dead flank plus the ultimate coming in from the Hecarim as takes down Kinzon. That's an AD carry down for HAU. The Rift Herald is still there. No turret will protect them. Silas trying to stay alive. Stay alive? Not gonna stay alive. Wait, he will actually stay alive in that fight. Akala ko magdi-distortion pa si Pao eh. But I called that too early. Silas still alive. HAU could still defend this top lane.
But it's gonna be really, really tough here. Parzival getting pressured by Michael. Is he gonna pull the trigger? Kingslayer is up. He's not going to pull the trigger, but the turret has been destroyed in the top side, and UST looking dominant, extending that 8k gold lead now to a 10,000 gold lead.
Oh man, Dane in the bottom lane specifically. Oh, my voice. But he really saved that that Renekton stun because Renekton is a shield breaker.
Yes.
So he really timed that really well when Red Flank decided to pop the shield for himself. That's when Dane decided to pull out that stun, and that won him the 1v1. While on the top side of the map, such a beautiful 3-4 man ult from Crescio with that soul shackles into Zhonya's Hourglass. Grabe talaga yung pinapakita ng UST players right now.
Yeah, it looks like Pao trying to find one against Red Flank, but Red Flank does not have the Death Realm available. This might be dangerous, but
Lord.
the Trundle is there. Come on, don't give up the Medjais. He will be going back to the clone, but looks like he's going at it. He actually gets the kill. Get me out of this game. That's Pao getting the kill on the Mordekaiser without the Death Realm available in the bottom lane, Kinzon. Oh no.
Getting creeped
It's
up.
in the wrong neighborhood. He's just waiting for it. He's gonna get a kill as well in the bottom lane as UST is looking to take over right now.
Every single lane right now is under UST's control. Whether it be solo or with a group, UST has just been dominating these lanes, pushing away Parzival, getting Pao more of these Medjai stacks, and he's been playing this Medjai very, very smartly, not overconfident. He knows basically one rotation with the Medjai is as powerful as 2 rotations, so he's always going for the safer plays and poking in when he can get out very safely.
Oh my god. I have to say that it's looking bleak right now for HAU. I guess their only win condition at this point is to get that soul point pressure, but with the pressure that UST exerting across the map, that's gonna be really hard. Kinzon right now is just stuck on his Bork. Infinity Edge not yet even completed. Their win condition right now is Gimp, and it's gonna take a really good defense on the side of HAU for them to like turtle and get into the late game.
But
Man.
yeah, it's really, really tough.
16 stacks on the Medjais right now, though. We are 23 minutes in, and looks like Pao is in trouble right now. I don't think... Oh, there's a second distortion. Will he get chased, though? They actually give up on chasing that LeBlanc. Dragon is spawning a few seconds from now, and this might be a very game-deciding fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a turning point for this game 1. The game that sets the stage for the best of 5. Will HAU give up this Drake without any contest? Michael's already started it. It looks like HAU is just going to give this away, defending their base. And UST looking super dominant at this point. 12k gold lead. They're just going to extend that further by stealing away camps, constantly pushing onto these turrets. HAU, they need to make a stand soon.
Man, I imagined the wrong thing. When you said make a stand, na-imagine ko merong parang may Damaro sa likod nila. But man, that's not even Kuroko no Basket anymore. That's like Jojo and Shaman King in 1. We're in the finals now. We gotta up our reference game. Now it's Shaman King, but in the top lane, madadagdagan ba mga Espiritu sa top lane? That's gonna be the Onslaught of Shadows to counter the Onslaught of Shadows. Like the Uno reverse card of LOL right there. And looks like that's gonna be a battle ladder in the top side na magtutuloy dito. Tenebria still alive in the backside trying to kite it out, but Crescio goes golden, stun lands just for a while, pero grabe yung cleanse na binigay doon ni Kaidan as the Renekton goes in. What the hell is that damage coming in from Pao? Tenebria inside the Death Realm. Will the shield go up for Red Flank? No, he won't. He will survive that Death Realm instead. In the top lane, looks like the inhibitor will go to the hands of UST.
Oh man, that was close there for HAU. They could have gotten a huge turnaround there with Parzival's Onslaught of Shadows. Like I said, it's the same type of stand as Michael's, but in the end, they just get outstatted, and Tenebria with a Death Dance able to out-sustain. that's just too much there for HAU, and despite getting so wounded, Tenebria's back up to almost full Corgi, taking it in stride. I think HAU right now is thinking, okay, what do we do for game 2? Let's chill now for the last few minutes of this game, because I don't see HAU winning this game from this kind of deficit with this kind of comp.
Oh man.
Like, team comp wise, execution wise, this is UST being on point. This is their traditional playstyle. Just win early game, all 3 lanes, early pressure, I didn't really translate into the early objectives, but despite the 2 dragons falling into the hands of HAU, UST won the team fights that were adjacent to those objectives. So in terms of the overall gold still funneled into their pockets, and that's what enabled them to just keep placing HAU into this pressure cooker and just keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
And speaking of pushing forward, the Baron will help UST to push forward if ever they do get this. But let's go back a few dragons. I mean, the first 2 dragons of this game. HAU has the knack of stealing away objectives. So if they steal away this Baron, this might be the chance for HAU to come back in this game. So let's see if they would be able to contest this, or will UST start the fight? That's gonna be the ultimate coming in from the red flank. Actually. Dane's still inside that Death Realm. Also out of Shadows on the backside. That's gonna be a kill on towards Pao as Lulu goes down. The Silas can't go in. He misses the abscond. And the distortion picks up Kinzon. And this is 2 people down already for HAU. This looks to be the game for UST. Corgi is going out. It leaves open the base as Pao will try to decimate HAU in this game 1.
30-second death timers here for Kinzon. Can UST finish it? They got super minions marching in the top and mid lane. House Magi stacks have been reduced to 17, but I don't think UST is gonna let that matter as they're charging upon the Nexus turrets, haunting HAU outside of their fountain as Tenebri and Dane finish off this Nexus. And I think this is UST coming in game 1 of this best of 5, super strong, super decisive with a 15k gold lead. This sets the stage.